Hi ladies, as promised, I'm going to show you how I apply my Jamberry nail wraps. I've already done all but one, so I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to use metallic because the metallics tend to be the ones that people complain about the most in the application process. They really are, you apply them just the same. You just want to make sure you're putting lots of heat in the process and making sure you're getting all the excess off the tip and making sure nothing's on the cuticle. So, because of that, the first thing you want to do, and probably the most important thing in all the process, is making sure your nails are prepped properly. So you want to push back all your cuticles. I've actually already done that here. I don't know if you know, but there are these little clear type cuticles on the sides of your nails that you don't always notice, and mine don't always come off when I push back with the orange stick. So I get a nail file, one that's really soft. So the Jamberry, I like the Jamberry nail file because it's rough. This is great when you're getting off the ends when you're applying. But when you're prepping your nails, I like to use a smooth one anytime I'm actually filing on top of my nail, just so it's not damaging or making it rough. And I just get the corners and I just edge where my cuticles were with that smooth side. And that just makes sure all that cuticle is gone. Then I shape the rest of my nail, file it down, make it as long as I want or as short as I want. I usually wear my nails short, so mine are not going to, mine kind of end right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my nail is nice and smooth. Now it's not because I just filed it, so I'm going to use my buffer and I'm going to buff it. And this is an important step because this makes sure that your nail is nice and smooth. There's nothing rough, and so that makes it stay on better. So I buff it. I always can tell I buffed it enough when the friction has caused some heat. I can kind of feel that heat. So now I'm ready. Actually, no, sorry. I'm going to then wipe off any residue. Now, anytime you had any jam residue from removal, or if you had any nail polish or any kind of oils, you want to wipe that off. And so I have a Jamberry nail wipe. That's what these are, the nail prep wipe. You can totally just use a cotton ball with rubbing alcohol or nail polish remover. I prefer alcohol because it kills all those oils. Make sure it's clean. And there you go. Now I'm going to apply my wrap. Now, I've actually already snipped these because I'm using some that I already had. But Jamberries come in these little ovals. And so one oval is 2 nails. So I'm going to lift it. Now, I don't use tweezers. I use my orange stick. So I get the end, kind of bend my paper a little bit, get the end like this. And I like the orange stick because I kind of push it on it and it sticks really well. And then I cut it using my scissors. So I'm going to cut it like that. And then see how it's on my orange stick now and ready to use? I use my fingers mainly because my nails are short and I know that the part that my finger is touching is going to be cut off anyway. Don't touch any part of the glue with your fingers that is actually going on your nail because then again you have that oil and it could cause the bond to not work properly. I'm actually going to put this back because I am not using that one. I'm going to use my metal. So now I'm going to lift it. Again, my finger, the part it's touching is the part that's going to get cut off anyway. I'm going to heat it. I use my Jamberry mini heater. I am saying this with all honesty, it's the best $19 I ever spent. Heat it until it curls. See it curling? See that? And then heat a little longer. I always say, when in doubt, heat. And then I'm going to apply it. Sometimes this takes some skill. You'll get used to it. Honestly, I get mine crooked a lot. No one ever can tell. Then push down, straight down, and then to the side. Because if you want any kind of bubbles, if that ever happens, you'd rather have them on the sides than on the tip. Because on the tip, it's going to lift and you're going to get dirt under there more easily. You kind of rub it. And here's one of the things that I do that's different than the other videos. I heat the entire time. I do something, I heat. I do something else, I heat. Because I figure the more heat, the more that adhesive is bonding to my nail. Then you use your cuticle pusher. Now this is the rubber one because the wooden ones can kind of be harsh on the actual wrap. So you use this and then you push back. Now this really helps, especially if you think your jam has maybe touched a little part of your cuticle. You can kind of shove it back. Make sure you get that good bond. Again, I heat again. The other reason why I like heating when it's still long is I can see where my nail ends now. And so when I trim it, it makes it easier. There's no mystery there. Then I'm going to trim it with scissors. You can trim it with nail clippers. It always sticks to the inside of my nail clippers, so I'm not going to do that. You actually do not have to trim at all because this is not cutting at the correct length. See how much longer it is than what it should be? That is not the purpose of the cutting. The purpose of the cutting is just so you have less to work with. Here is how you're going to take off the residue, the rest of it. I should say the residual. You're going to use, let me turn this off. You're going to use your nail file, and you're going to go at a 45-degree angle, okay? See that? 45. Videos say 90. I prefer 45. The reason why you're going to see in a minute. This, to me, is the key to them not lifting. And you're just going to, and this is going to seem weird at first because you feel like you're damaging your jam. I promise you you're not. So you can kind of see how it's starting to rub off. And you do that until it's completely severed from your actual wrap. So see that? And now it's all gone. I just kind of throw away that residue. Now, I chose to do this nail because this nail of mine is really short, and that tends to be harder when you have short nails. But the key is that it gives you this little white line. I'm going to show you on my other ones too. I have this little area where my jam is not on, it's my actual nail. And you do that because then anytime something touches the tip of your nail, it's not touching your jam, it's touching your nail. And so it's not going to cause that jam to be lifted or removed or damaged in any way. I like doing this. I do this because honestly, eventually I'm going to have that worn down anyway, but not in a good way. And no one can see it because when you pull it back, you're like, oh, from a distance, people are not seeing the flaws that you maybe see. And that, to me, is the key to not lifting. Now, this is a metallic, so notice I didn't really do anything different except, and actually I do this with all mine, I'm going to heat it again just to make sure I got everything down and bonded. And it looks like I have, and I'm good to go. Now, one thing that I did on this hand that I haven't done on this hand yet is I put a clear on top of one of my other jams. So it's a jam on a jam. I love doing this. This is Leo Geo Lace. I like to keep this in my little library of jams because it's just fun to layer on top of a basic color. I sometimes even put it on top of other patterns to create a new pattern. Jams on jams, it works just like a regular jam. You just do it twice. There's no special tips needed. You just put one on, make sure it's on well. I usually wait until it's cool, do another one, and then I go put the clear on top of it. And that's it. If you ever need to file your nails, make sure you don't file side to side. Make sure you're doing that at a 45-degree angle, even when you're doing repairs. And you should have no problems after that. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. That's how I do mine. I promise after the first couple times it gets really easy and it's so worth it because they're so fun and you'll get a lot of compliments and it's just that little bit of extra that makes you feel good about yourself. Hope that helps. Y'all have a wonderful day.